everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Zombie, and
No,
welcome.
we can't. No, we can't hear you, Zombie.
My microphone hasn't been working very well lately, so...
Fair
I
enough.
just
Well,
realised
it is working, and that is a good thing because I want to thank everybody for coming to this week's episode of Let's Roleplay Low Gravity. Woo.
Oh, is that what we're doing? I better leave then.
Oh yeah, okay. You better bye, DeFrog. No, but okay. So we are picking up where we left off the last game, where you guys had actually just finished your. Well, you hadn't finished your first assignment, but you had essentially finished it. Like you still
We
need
had
to turn it
completed.
in.
Yeah, we just hadn't delivered.
You haven't gone to the guy with the big golden exclamation, the big gold question mark over his head to, drop it off and get your XPs. So we're going to actually, unless there's anything specifically you guys want to do before then, we're actually going to pick up with you guys flying into Bigsey, where you are to meet with your contact, a member of the Norse Co. Upper middle management. The ship. What is the name of your ship? What is the name of your ship?
The Blooded Talon.
The Blooded Talon.
The Edge.
The Edge.
Just like
I didn't realize U2 was doing our music now.
Yeah. I was gonna reference you two. Goddamn.
Ha! I got there first. But yeah, so the Edge from out of the U2 has has. Goddamn, no, that's nothing to do with what we're doing. Yeah, you guys are flying into Bigsey space. You have had a chance to recover a little bit from the surprising lack of wounds you all took.
That's
Like the only hit point damage that any of us took was, when somebody decided to use a psychic power.
Yeah, and totally heal the enemy.
I didn't know this was. I didn't know this was Connex.
But yeah, no. So once again,
That
in
was
the
so
long-
awkward of a silence.
No. Sorry, I'm just looking up like a musical playlist to start playing over the whole thing. But like, yeah,
You should
actually,
play
that's
Minecraft music.
no. That's not copyright free, and B, no.
How do you know?
I mean, I'm going to go under the assumption that Microsoft does not want has not decided to make any aspect of their multi-million-dollar property.
Go on Minecraft.com/Youngscast Duhad, and you can get.
What the fuck is any of that mean? Anyway, so no, but we got some music, so but yeah, no, it's like actually that is a Let's Roleplay tradition. Psychic powers killing the people who use them.
I think the next system that gets made should have psychic power with the text. Once psychic power is used, user's head explodes.
Well, there is
Get straight out of the way.
We will get to that at some point where someone's head will explode when using psionics and
Yeah, I did include the head popping, like the self-head popping psionic power in, but fortunately no one has been crazy enough to actually use it yet.
That's your cue, Graham.
That's your cue. But no, so we pick up with the crew of the Bloody Talon, flying into... I'm going to take off this jacket because it's too warm in here for it. Sorry. Good intro, everybody.
It's getting hot in here.
So take off all your
jacket.
clothes.
I cannot believe that people actually followed on with that one.
What do you mean?
I cannot believe that people remembered that one.
What, you think we're that young?
You whippersnappers!
You youngins with your musics and your rap and your busy boys. But no, so you guys are flying into the massive metropolis of Bigsey, a planet-spanning city that is honeycombed with layers upon layers of construction. The entire
All right, everyone,
place...
look out for wild Pooh Bears.
Oh God! But yeah, the entire place is basically covered in a layer of smog. As the the upper layers of the only the tallest spires and the tallest buildings out of the city managed to pierce through the industrial miasma that chokes it, which is actually sort of an advantage to living in the in the crowded honeycombs of most of the city, because it's actually filtrated air, so you don't choke to death.
So we're not talking like Beijing level, not Los Angeles level.
Keep in mind, there's machines that literally filter the carbon dioxide out of the air.
Oh yeah, it's not total poison, but like even with the machines, this place is nasty. Unless you live in the tall towers, which your contact normally does, but they don't want people. They don't want to be associated with people who are flying around in a ship like the Bloody Talon. Both because it's very low class and also because it's kind of sort of illegal, even though everybody does it. So you have a meeting arranged with a representative at a hotel that he is currently staying in within Bigsey. You will not be meeting with him directly, but you will be handing it off to one of his direct subordinates at this hotel. And it's a very nice hotel. Like, it's a very, like, he's obviously not going to stay at a shitty motel. It's a very fancy hotel.
Get back here, you bastard.
In fact, actually,
the dice is running.
Yeah, in fact, actually, this hotel is very specifically kind of like an unofficial, like, basically, like, this is like a chain of hotels that is, like, dedicated to the concept of people of class, wanting to, on the DL, meet with people, without class. So it's essentially like a chain of motels that are catering to the ultra-rich who want to remain,
want to have prostitutes without it.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is it charges by the hour?
Yeah. It charges by the hour, but it charges people who have so much money that it literally doesn't even matter that they're charging by the hour. Like, they just don't even notice the bill.
Yeah. It's a high-class establishment for not necessarily high-class activity.
Exactly. And
so what you're saying is there's a lot of money.
There's a lot of money. Yeah, there's a lot of money involved, but they're also.
You should tear down the wall.
Here's the thing, though. They're also very used to, because of the nature of this establishment. They're very used to, grungy, criminally type people. So the lobbies are very secure, and while they won't turn you away at the door, because obviously they know that you people are going to be coming in to do business. They are not shy about letting you know that you are not, entirely welcome. You are basically there because someone has given you the okay, and if you overstep your boundaries, you could end up leaving in multiple pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yes, and you will be taking the damage to the ship from Junker as soon as you land.
All right.
Good. Glad we're doing that.
Yeah,
and you will do that
stick to the rules straight.
Yeah, and as soon as you guys have dropped off your job, you will be given payment and also the changes to reputation and fame and all that stuff that comes from having completed a successful job. But I wanted to not just rush that at the end of the last session, because I have some things planned for when you guys drop off this job. Partly because this is your first job, and partly because this is the opening to a story, not a single one-off episode in. So there's more to happen.
Insert name of someone.
Jim, you dick!
Fuck you,
what an
Jim.
asshole, Jim.
Yeah,
God,
you're listening to us right now. You're an asshole. You should just go and think about your life.
Like this video.
Like, subscribe to
this video,
and then think about your life.
Yeah, then once you're done watching this
how
video...
How dare you try and sell us death sticks?
Yeah, come on. You gotta rethink your life, my dude. Or else, otherwise, next time, we're gonna fucking lightsaber you in the face.
I'm really confused.
you should be. That's a sign you're not totally hopeless yet.
You're not woke yet.
But no, okay. So you guys are flying in. You don't have to go directly to the hotel. They didn't as I said before. They gave you actually a pretty decent amount of time. You didn't end up actually needing nearly as much of it as they kind of gave you. So you can go there immediately, or you can go and do some shopping and take care of some things first. Though obviously, you might want to save shopping until after you actually get paid.
I was about to say, I have zilch resources, and I don't even have, in a way, have negative one.
I mean, it makes sense that we would go immediately there, because that lowers the risk of,
interception.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
John,
look
can
for
we go ahead and get character names in the chat?
Yes, please
Yeah.
write down all your character names in the chat. And as those of you at home watching who actually watch the videos rather than just put them on this podcast will no doubt notice, we do have work in progress title art, so you can actually see what all of our brave heroes look like now. Obviously, there'll be a finished version probably by next session. But in the meantime, this is a pretty good picture. You can really kind of get a feel for who all these people are, which is nice. So, just to run down them real fast, we got Linda Love running after the car. We've got Kaufman bouncing around in his little robot body, which we haven't actually really had a chance to see yet. But that's what he looks like when he's actually jacked into a robot. We got we got Raph, bouncing on top of the car, being treated very poorly for the boss of this organization. And we got Red driving the car, kind of leaning out as she keeps her eyes all nice and covered. And finally, we've got can you pronounce that name for me?
Lucretia.
Lucretia is her name. Sagittarius is her parasite.
Okay,
That's her
cool.
stand name.
Yeah. So Lucretia and Sagittarius are leaning out the back, looking like cool.
Does that mean that we're going to end up finding enemy parasite users who have names of different astrological signs?
That would be good.
Aries is host is going to
my parasite Pisces.
Oh God!
Oh,
Actually, I have
my
someone
parasite
who's gonna be meeting
Gemini.
this episode probably who could totally be the parasite host of Pisces, but we're not doing that.
My terminal stand, Cancer.
I mean,
God.
John can
Anyway.
give you cancer and turn into
Every time
a
I use
car.
my power, I get a tumor.
Oh God! Yeah, just so many tumors. Anyway,
Good thing my power.
Can you just
allows-
imagine a person with the battle cry of "It's tumor time"?
The
Oh,
cancer the cancer parasite's power is force you to play League of Legends over and over.
Oh God! Yeah, just you
That
can't
would
play any
be
other
nice.
games of League of Legends.
Only. Yes.
Oh my God! Anyway, so. Anyway.
Okay, so
Let's
we
go
landed.
get-
Yeah, so you guys like come into one of the landing zones designated around the hotel. You kind of like sort of what happens is you kind of come into land, and there's like a space in the top of the city area that just opens up, and you fly down into the sort of catacombs of the city itself. Where you're kind of docked in sort of like a pseudo space station, which they kind of keep to make sure that none of the smog gets in and chokes up the airport. But as you land, the Blooded Talon, which is a bit of a junker, a bit of a fixer-upper, kind of lands. Its landing ramps come down, and then one of them sort of buckles, and the ship tilts forward, and like the very front of the ship crumples a little bit as it smacks into the landing pad. And
Kaufman,
Yes.
what was that? Did you just crash us?
No. It appears that the person who has purchased this vehicle prior to you damaged its landing
Oh, for the love of...
devices.
Okay, we'll need to fix that.
So yeah.
Is the primary buffer panel at least still in place?
Oh yeah, no, it's relatively superficial damage, but the ship took some damage. Hey, your ship takes damage. 'Cause-
You all die.
No one dies. Everything's fine. You guys just take a little bit of damage on your ship that you will probably want to repair if you have the money to do so.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
And we have.
so
Yeah, we'll be good.
yeah, I'm probably going to change how much it costs to repair ships going forward, just because I made it a little too cheap. But like it'll be cheap enough that it'll probably only cost you about a resource point to have a mechanic come in and like slap on some fucking like.
Not getting a mechanic to come in. We
Okay,
can do it
mechanic.
ourselves.
We have
you
mechanic.
you can also do it yourselves. Just keep in mind it's going to take you a little bit of time. But
That's
What kind
fine.
What
you got
kind of
time.
idiot buys repairs? What? This is a junker for a reason.
True. Well, to be fair, this particular ship is a junker, not so much because it's a piece of shit that you guys have like managed to cobble together. It's more because this ship is a prototype and has a bunch of design flaws that were supposed to be ironed out before it was actually put up for like mass production.
Wait. Duhad, are you telling me that prototypes are not automatically better than production line machinery?
Yeah, no, I know this is going
against... Anime's been lying to me this whole goddamn time?
I know this is going against, like...
Damn you, Gundam?
What, like, all anime and most sci-fi kind of tends to, like, say...
bro.
But, like, prototypes kind of suck for the most part. Like, they're impressive and cool, and they got, like, a whole bunch of, like, crazy shit that, like, is cutting edge, but they also tend not to be, like...
reliable.
Yeah, super reliable.
Like, they do come... sometimes a lot of features are cut from prototypes, and that's where they're getting the whole, like, they're better thing, but...
Yeah,
typically,
like, basically, especially with this ship, because like you because this, well, you guys didn't steal it, but like because someone stole this ship, like literally, this one probably when it first came, like when it first went out into the wider galaxy, had a lot of things similar to the Heart of Gold from Hitchhiker's Guide, where it's like plastic wrap on a bunch of chairs and like a bunch of like stupid brochures, you know, taped to a bunch of like panels and shit.
Yes.
Join Atlas Space.
Oh no, it's like not even like for like the average consumer, like literally for like the military contractors being like, this is why this ship is what you should be paying for. Like this is the future of military hardware. Da 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 da.
Please tell me that Kaufman doesn't make the doors sigh in contentment when we go through them.
Wow. No. This is a military ship for the Atlas Corporation, so it's more like there's a very smug, you know, sound whenever the doors open and close.
You mean like it was in the Heart of Gold?
Yes.
No, here's what it is.
Like explicitly, Marvin calls it out as a smug sound.
When y'all leave the ship, it's going to have triumphant military music play loudly out of the speakers of the ship,
actually,
as if you're landing, you know, to command the troops in the area.
Actually, yeah, no, they probably you guys might have actually removed it, but probably when the ship first came off the line, it would have had like a system where every time the ramp lowered, just in preparation for the big show off to like the potential buyers, like it starts playing the national anthem really loudly and really patriotically to like go like, haha, see, look at this, we're patriots as well as ship designers.
You know what? I think that system is going to be kept, but it's not going to have anything on the playlist for the moment until our company can come up with its own theme music and jingle.
Fair enough. So this is like
at which point it will be playing.
That's fair. But for now, like royalty-free, like you know, patriotic music from the Atlas Library.
God, I love it.
So, okay. As the Bloody Talon lands and kind of smashes itself up a bit, you know, you get greeted by a the you know, human who is in charge of the like the ship docking and stuff, like not like the person who's in charge of the whole station or this whole like spaceport or whatever, but like basically like the landing crew guy who kind of comes out to just like go over the basics of, you know, parking.
Dude with a clipboard.
Yeah, and so he kind of comes out and he's got like a robot assistant and he, you know, brings you a bunch of forms that are just like, you know. The fees for landing here are so light that you aren't even going to have to spend a resource point on them. But there's like, you know, there's some fees. There's like a 40, you know, pounds beryllium fee for parking overnight.
Oh, that's fucking. God, this is horrible. That's expensive as shit.
It's fucking.
You can pay 10 if you just go to the place in the alleyway. Like...
True.
I'm going to go ahead and look very carefully over all the papers that are given to me.
Okay,
just in case they decide to sneak anything special in.
Oh, that's fair. That's totally fair. No, as you look over it, it actually looks pretty straightforward. One of the nice things about, you know, like despite what a shithole Bigsey kind of is, in terms of being like a corrupt, crime-infested hellhole, it is a little bit like, you know, going to New York in that like it's still like a major metropolitan area and like people like the big international like airports and stuff are trying to be competitive with each other, so they don't try to screw you over just because they want your repeat business.
Gotcha. Okay. So how long would it take to do a quick look over of the ship and figure out how long it's actually going to take to repair?
You could probably do that in about an hour.
8 days.
Yeah. No.
Do you want?
Okay, yeah, we should at least take a look over that. I think that when we show up, we should show up in force with the specialists.
That's entirely fair.
We just party. So we put on a good face.
I'm just going to keep track of how long it actually takes you guys to get there because of reasons.
Time matters. Okay.
No, it's not even necessarily. I'm just keeping track of it because I have a thing.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
So I'm not going to tell you why. I'm just going to let you know that I've got a dice out here, and every delay and how long each of those delays is going to take is going to just be marked down.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Duhad has ripped this from Nebula Jazz, where we're going to arrive in the room and the king is going to be dead on the bed and we're going to be framed for it. And then I, being the cat, am going to have to eat the corpse. Dead king.
Okay, Zombie, to be fair, I actually did get part of the idea for this campaign from Nebula Jazz, but it is not that direct. It's not that direct at all. Like, it's you guys are not going to be eating the corpse of a prince. You guys are not going
we're going to be eating the corpse of Norse, and...
You don't find Will Norse's body and have to eat it.
No, you're right.
Are you saying that we don't get a delicious meal?
No. What we're going to do is we're going to put sunglasses on him, and then try and convince everyone that he's alive.
None of you.
We get a Bernie style.
Remember that the prince is not a child, so it's far less delicious.
Yeah, none of you are fucking space sharks. None of you are going to be eating anyone's dead body.
Well, here's what I
could be a carnivorous bird.
True, but...
Well, no, yeah, you are. But,
yeah.
You are.
No, but, what I could do is cut off all of their skin and then put it over my body in order to appear more living.
Okay, again, your dimensions are not right for that. You would...
So what you're saying is I should do that.
Your dimensions are also a little bit weird. Like, it would be a little less weird, but it's like his neck would be, like, sticking out really sharply because of your beak.
We'll just say he's Jewish.
Yeah. Oh.
It's a huge Adam's apple.
Yeah. Duhad, I would like to put a blast out on one of our kind of wireless communication, like, essentially forum they have here.
Yeah.
Offering my services while I'm in town for a paint job.
Okay. Yeah, I'll
Goes on Craigslist.
I'm going to I'll have you do a thing for that in just a bit, but first we're going to deal with the space shop thing. So, yeah, do your...
So, yeah, quick look over, get an idea of timeline. My thinking here is, well, we can't exactly take another job if we have to, be delayed by repairs, so I want a good estimate about that. So when it comes time for more business, I can give an accurate quote.
That's fair. So because
it's a professional operation here.
Yeah, and because this is a very simple thing to do, and because the amount of damage you took is literally dictated by one of your flaws, it's not like a random number. I'm not going to bother having you guys roll for it because it's literally just your in-character characters learning what your out-of-character characters already know. So, it takes you an hour, you look it over, and it's pretty light damage. Like, it's the sort of thing that it really, in and of itself, isn't too bad, but you would want to make sure it didn't, like, keep on building up, because eventually it would create a sizable weak point right around the area that everybody, sits in the cockpit, so,
Don't like that.
Yeah.
What do you mean? There's no problems there.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Well, none of you have to breathe.
Kaufman, other people need oxygen.
Yeah, Kaufman's like, wait, but like, what's the matter? Like, it gets vented into space.
Organics need oxygen.
Yes.
I like the idea that, like,
please put that into your priority list. Life support is important.
Fucking prototype.
The leading first law in favor of organics need oxygen.
Oh no, we're fucking.
Where's the logic probe?
That was a joke.
I know, Kaufman.
It's actually, you probably want the first law deleted because the first law is, human life must be preserved at all costs. Xenos life is not is irrelevant.
Oh, I thought it was the first law of robotics.
Well, it is the first Atlas law of robotics.
Atlas has strict laws for robotics.
Yeah, they're not a big fan of Asimov and everything he represented.
Fair. Anyway.
Hold on. So,
okay. So we've got a good timeline on how long it'll take us to fix it. And what's the estimate on that?
You could probably get this thing fixed up in about a day.
Okay. Well then, let's get this delivered.
Okay, and so then, Morath, you are going to put out some feelers. I want you, unfortunately this is going to be a little hard for you right now just because you guys don't have a lot of fame going on, but I want you to roll your art skill plus fame, which I think at this point is 0. But roll that and tell me what you get to see if you can get a buyer.
Yeah. Am I able to also add my specialty to that?
Yes, you can add your specialty to this if it's an art specialty.
It is an art specialty.
Okay. Actually, you now I might suggest here you wait until after you guys have actually finished the job, so you'll have any fame at all. Not a lot, but at least a little bit to help you.
I was just gonna put out the blast.
Yeah, that's
but I figure I'll take the roll.
Okay, that's cool.
During downtime.
No worries. Okay. So in that case, we'll wait. We'll wait to find out whether or not you guys get downtime, and then you can make that roll then.
We will not. That's the real joke.
That's the twist.
What's the twist?
Go ahead and prep the car. Yeah, I assume that there are roads to this place.
Oh yeah, there are roads, and the
very
car
narrow roads.
Yeah, there are narrow roads. There sometimes traffic is slow, but you can do it. And there's the cars are also fitted with basic thrusters, so you're able to, hover up to secondary roads and stuff. So
we're not taking the buggy.
Yeah, you want to take the buggy, yeah, unless you want to get a cab.
Oh yeah, fair.
Let's save money.
Yep.
Rolling billboard for your art.
Fair.
Are you kidding me? It costs us $100,000 every time we drive this super expensive car.
You guys
we call it Natasha.
Eating in the car. No eating, drinking, smoking. Basically, don't touch anything.
My claws immediately rip out the seats.
Yeah,
don't cause
I like the idea of Red taking giant fluffy gloves and shoving them over the creature's hands.
Now, do they just include oven mitts and staple guns to make sure that they stay there?
Kaufman will be janking his AI thing into his robot body.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I assume. Now let's find out whether or not this title card art ends up being prescient to this session.
Oh God.
So yeah, you. Oh my goodness.
I'll start her up. And where are we headed?
You guys are headed to a location in the as I said, a hotel. You have
What's the name of the person that we're meeting?
Oh yes, I have the notes actually pulled up right here. So let me actually open this. Okay. Your contact's name is let me just make sure I hold on. Okay, yeah. Your contact's name is Franklin Amstead. He is a Norseco, upper middle manager. He's, reasonably well known. You wouldn't know him off the top of your head. He's not a household name or anything. But if you went into the space times, you would find articles on him pretty easily.
What's the species of the people who own the hotel that we are going to?
What was it?
That doesn't seem like something we would know, really. Species of the people that own the hotel?
Oh, yeah. You wouldn't know that specifically, but you could take a general guess that, there'd be at least a few humans running it, just because North
there's so many of us.
Yeah, like, humanity kind of is pretty fucking widespread. Norsco is primarily run by humans. And
I just wanted to know if I could be,
Oh yeah,
I just needed to know. I just needed to know so I can be racist.
Oh, that's fair. You would totally know that like this place is probably run by humans, but also that they probably employ and have somewhere in the upper management non-humans working there.
Okay.
Like they would not be prejudiced, but they would also likely be human.
Fair.
Like not to draw too fine a point to real world equivalents or anything, but like basically think about this as like an American like massive hotel chain. Like chances are there'd be a number of white people running the place, but they would not be only white people running the place. Like humans are kind of socially and population-wise, relatively equivalent to white people in the U.S. out in the Rim.
Okay.
Yeah, you're folks.
You're here first, folks. This is all a massive racial allegory, and like it is going to be super political.
Political commentary
everywhere, but no.
Click on that one video that April has.
Oh yeah, that one video. The one video which is not racist. You made it sound racist. It's not racist. It's not racist. Anyway.
I'm not racist. You're racist.
You're racist. Shut up.
So what's the plan?
Yeah, what is the plan? Actually, do tell me this. I'm not going to like be like, you need a plan to go and talk to this guy. But if you have a plan, let me know.
The plan is pretty much as it goes. We go ahead. We head in. We speak to management to, get our connection to the person that we're supposed to send it to. And from there, we pretty much run as he wants to because he's the client. Mm-hmm. We don't go in unarmed. We might have Red stay in the car for a quick getaway if necessary.
Well, I can leave the car running. The door's open on a remote.
Yeah, and there's a valet service. You can and they also appreciate the fact that some people don't want other people touching their cars, so they have a basically bodyguard valet service where they'll just like have your car parked somewhere nearby and then have someone standing outside to make sure no one touches it.
Okay, cool.
You had to tip them, obviously. I mean, it's a tipping service, but like these are very professional, very very.
Well, I can give them a wonderful tip. Come and work for Dynamic Solutions LLC. We pay better.
Very nice, very nice.
Your tip is get a real job? That's an asshole maneuver. I mean, it works. But...
Hey, I didn't say get a real job. I said come work for me and I will pay you better.
No,
distinct difference.
Well, no, what you basically said was get a real job. No, it's get a real job, and then you left your business card there.
To be fair, most of these people are used to the type of people who come to this hotel either like sneering at them and being like, "Look after my car," or being like thuggish assholes who are like, "Hey, like fuck you, rich boy," like fuck you, like servant. I'm a fucking legend. What the fuck are you? Just some idiot like wage slave. Fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, frankly, if Raphael being Raphael, what he would do is he would say, we might be able to recruit here, pass out the kind of stuff, and he would probably tip as well because you're more likely to get people to come and look that way.
Yeah. Don't Larry David this, and they might be willing to talk to you later on.
Mr. Pink.
Is it a good idea for all of us to go in?
Fuck that dude.
We might not want to make too big waves if we all go in. Might be better to keep this on the down.
That's fair. This place is big. Like, not to again. I keep on drawing like real world comparisons and shit.
I'm talking to you, Duhad.
Okay. Well, I'm just giving you some information about like the size of this building. Like,
no, it's Raphael. Sorry.
Oh, Raphael. Oh,
yeah. It's a concern potentially, but frankly, we're here to advertise and find business for ourselves. We do need to make at least some waves.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, do you really want any of us out of earshot if something goes wrong? I hear that's common in these sort of dealings.
I would prefer being inside the establishment, as far away from the Xeno scum as possible.
Raphael is just going to turn and look to you and go, Kaufman, do you realize the problem with your statement?
Yes, however, in accordance to Atlas law, it is not incorrect.
Linda
works for
pinches
you, Kaufman,
the bridge of
I'm
her
happy.
nose. Linda pinches the bridge of her nose and says, "Big waves, big waves."
Perfect. So, as you guys drive up...
Don't shoot anyone, don't start any fights, but if someone starts a fight, you damn well finish it.
Fair enough.
You hear the cracking knuckles from the back.
Yeah. So as you pull up, you actually see the valet.
Look, Keisha does a backflip.
God. You see the two valets kind here over to you. One of them is a smartly dressed human, with a pair of dark sunglasses. Who has like this big, friendly, open smile, and right behind him, apparently serving as a sort of like a sign of strength for the hotel, is a massive, mech-suited, power armored Rig Titus, who is not armed but has clearly modified.
He's armed.
Yeah, they're very clearly.
His fists are arms.
He has arms.
Yeah, he has arms, and that makes him armed. This is clearly not a dude whose suit was designed to make them friendly looking. But the human, as you pull up, kind of walks over and respectfully, makes a sign as if to tap on your window, but doesn't actually do it. It's like, I'm not going to actually touch your car, but please roll down the window.
Yeah, I'll roll it down.
It's one of those manual cranks.
yeah, actually, it's a manual crank window. It's like really smooth as butter crank, but it's still a manual crank.
It's manual crank because it gives better airlocks into place. Yeah. So it's
manual crank because everything's manual crank. Half the cars are wind up hover cars. It's fucking
yeah.
But yeah, no, it's as you
you heard it here, folks. It's a setting detail.
Same detail.
Steampunk, motherfucker.
But yeah, as you roll down the window, the person, the guy kind of leans in and says, "Is this the what was the name of your company? Dynamic Solutions?
Dynamic Solutions LLC.
Yeah. Is this the Dynamic Solutions party?"
Yes, it is.
Excellent. We have been expecting you. Linda in the office will be waiting for you.
Thank you very much.
Would
I
you
love that
like?
There's more than. Man, this is the first setting that we've been in where there's multiple people with the same name.
Yeah. So there's another Linda. He says, do you need me to? Would you like your car parked for you, or would you prefer to keep it outside?
I'm going to look over at Red on this one.
I'd like to keep it primed and close at hand. But if you'd like me to park it, if you'd like me to set it somewhere out of the way, I can do that.
That would be preferable. If you'd like, my associate here can keep an eye on your vehicle for you.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. So as you pull into a short-term parking spot, the big Rig Titus kind of slowly walks over and then turns to kind of guard the front door.
Yeah. Just so you're aware, I'm going to turn to the valet. I've been tinkering with it a little bit, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to disconnect the contact alarm with the self-destruct button. There's kind of been a crosswire, so it's 50-50 shot whether or not you get, sirens or explosions. Just as a caution.
He smiles and just nods, very good, sir. Very good, ma'am.
Lucretia holds out a hand for a high five, wanting to see how strong this guy is.
The Rig Titus like hesitates and then raises a like massive like metal hand to take your high five. Like, keep in mind that the Rig Titus itself is actually just like a little weird fish monster.
Yeah, of course.
So it's like a giant robot hand high fives you.
Yeah. It's satisfying, though.
Okay, they're not tiny fish.
Well, okay, they're huge fish. They're a huge fish, but compared
to... They're giant cephalopods,
They're a giant cephalopod, but compared to the gigantic robot suit that it's in, it's a small fish.
Yeah.
Like, it's a fish the size of, like, a Chiron male or a Jundai, you know, inside of a robot suit taller than a human.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like, it gives you a high five, and you actually can see, like, the, even though it's, like, robot suit is actually, like, wearing, like, a really nice, fancy, like, outfit, it has, like, essentially a sunglass, like, porthole for, like, the occupant.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's mirrored so you can kind of see yourself in it, but, you know, like, you get the distinct impression that the person behind it is, like, eyeing you up, like, okay, fair enough. I see you.
Linda leans into Raphael's ear and starts making crashing and like covers her mouth with one hand to avoid to make it more suspicious but avoid people seeing what she's saying, and she starts making crashing wave sound.
Biscuit.
All right, people. Be professional, be polite, have a plan to kill everyone you meet. Do not execute on the plan unless they try and kill us first.
Thanks, Sniper.
The last one is the most important.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Lord. But yeah, so what happens is that as you guys actually let me just I was checking the times. I want to actually start breaking these videos up. I'm gonna try again to start breaking these videos into hour-long chunks. So if the video
again, remember, just set a timer.
Well, that's what I forgot to say. I actually had a timer prepared and I forgot to set it. So,
damn it!
well, luckily, DeFrog posted a video like literally as the recording was started. So I actually am going to use that as the mark for when we're gonna take our first short break, which is gonna be in about 10 minutes. And then I'm going to go to using my actual timer for the next chunk of the episode.
Okay.
Awesome. So
let's go find Linda.
Yeah, so you enter the building and it's...
Actually, on second thought, I don't enter the building. I stand in front of it and wait.
Okay, fair enough.
I just stare at the door.
Fair enough. So,
and it's very blatantly obvious that I'm waiting for something.
Okay.
Kaufman?
Do you want to be let in?
Yes, in accordance to the Atlas's fourth law of robotics, robots are second-class citizens and must require a permission by a human when entering a business run by a non-Xeno.
Well, we have no idea whether or not the runners are Xeno or not. But, Coffin, come on inside.
You actually, like, as you say this, like, there's a pair of like footmen type. I forget the actual name. I think they're actually footmen, but like the people who stand in front of the like doors in front of like fancy buildings to like open doors for people and stuff. And you actually see like one of them kind of like wrinkle his nose a little bit at the mention of Atlas. Like they're not super popular around these parts. But
continues to make wave sound effects.
God, as you
I'm gonna stop. I'm actually gonna stop by one of them and be like, "We stole a robot," then keep walking.
The person just sort of like nods their head slightly, like, "Okay." I sort of suspected. Like to be fair, like the general assumption is if you're traveling around with any sort of Atlas machinery and you're a party of mostly non-humans, you stole that shit.
The only thing, I'm pretty sure the only thing that we have shown off that's Atlas tech that was not in fact stolen is my car.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, also it's a clearly Atlas AI shoved inside of a Chiron body, so like unless this is the world's worst infiltrator, it's probably like a stolen AI.
Geth do not intentionally infiltrate.
Anyway, yeah. As you walk into the building, though, you actually see that it's lavish, but it's very obviously like lavish in such a way where there's nothing really like loose that looks expensive. Like there's a lot of gold plating, a lot of like
it's all bolted down.
Yeah,
I personally enjoy the aesthetics of this establishment.
Yeah, it's very Spartan. Very Spartan is the way of describing it. But as you enter in, yeah, and I'm sure Kaufman really enjoys this sort of thing. But as you do enter, you can see that there is there's essentially a bulletproof glass area where the front staff are stationed, and behind the glass is a human woman, who has clearly had extensive cybernetic work done. Her eyes are noticeably inhuman, like they look machine. And it's kind of odd because especially for a place like this, like they can afford to have machine eyes and machine parts that don't look terribly inhuman, at least at first glance. But like this woman's eyes look like black camera lenses, with like little LCD like eyes that occasionally blink inside of them.
I was told to ask for a Linda.
She smiles and says, "Oh, good. You must be the Dynamic Solutions party."
Yes.
As she actually does this, she turns her head slightly, and you see her looking at a sizable party of rather rough-looking individuals. And she presses a small button, which like lets off a little chime, like a little like doo doo, and the party like looks her way. Not my timer, but actually pretty close. We're gonna we're gonna take a break in just a second, but I'm not just gonna finish the scene, then we're gonna take a 5-minute break. But as she turns and looks over this other rough-looking party, and they kind of look back at her, she calls over and says, "I'm terribly sorry, but I need to look at the name again real fast. I'm terribly sorry, but Mr. Amstead will not be able to see you today." And as she says that, the leader of this rough-looking party, who is a tall woman in very clearly not even trying not to look like she's like ready for combat, like battle armor and like carrying a big gun, suddenly just stands up looking livid. And she storms over to all of you and says, "What the fuck is this?"
Hello.
She glares at you and then glares at the rest of you and then looks at Linda and is like, "What the fuck is this? You have me fucking sitting out here for over an hour and now you're telling me that he's not gonna see me? What the fuck is it with you people?" And she looks at the rest of you and says, "What the fuck do you have to do with Armstead?"
Just contracted.
She she looks like she's kind of, yeah. She looks like she's like
professionalism of that answer.
Yeah, and she you can see like her fucking she looks like insanely angry right now. Like she looks murderously angry. And the people behind her, like her group behind her, are armed to the teeth and look, ready to start shooting at a moment's notice. And for a moment, it actually looks like she's about to just order, her people to start, to start a fight. But then she physically, restrains herself. Like it's incredibly apparent that she's just putting a huge effort into calming herself. And she raises a finger and says, "Okay, you tell Armstead that if he fucking thinks that he can tell me that he can fucking order me around like I'm one of his goddamn assistants, that I am going to come back here tomorrow and I am going to fucking cut his goddamn head off if he isn't willing to see me." And then she pulls in, reaches down to her holster and pulls out a card. She pulls out a business card and shoves it into your hands. It's fucking send that with your package. God fucking damn it. She turns and storms out of the building.
What does the card say?
I'm going to take a look at the card.
The card actually, surprisingly, is a police officer's card. It's a it's a station's planetary security card, and it just says Detective Rose McNulty, Bigsey Security, and then has a phone number.
I thought this place had an arrangement with the police.
Yeah, it's weird. And this woman did not look like a police officer at all. She looked like a fucking gang leader. She looked like a crazy, gangster. But for some reason, she's handing out policemen's cards.
McNulty is infamous.
Well, apparently someone knows a little bit about her. Yeah, she's
There's
Care to elaborate, Kaufman?
From my basic Atlas information, she is heavily associated with. It leans in as if they're gonna whisper. Heavily associated with the company.
This startles Lucretia, causing her to nearly stumble.
Even though your voice is not been lowered at all, so everyone can hear you, no one seems terribly startled by this information.
No, it's not the information; it's just the volume.
Not necessarily the party members. I should say, you guys can be as shocked or unshocked as you want to be, but the people working here, the staff, are yeah.
My character just looks confused.
Sorry.
Anyway. Yeah, my character just looks confused.
Go ahead, Graham. I'm sorry.
Who are they? Never mind. I'll ask later.
Yeah.
What information might I have from the Federation files on this? Considering that she's high up in the power structure of one of the major political powers.
If anyone wants to roll a knowledge check, I can give you more information. But if anyone hears from Bigsey, I can I'll basically count that as being a success just right away, because she's pretty well known on Bigsey, and anyone else would probably have a reasonable chance of having heard of her.
Nope.
Let's see.
Not even rolling.
Yeah, it's 2d10 brains plus knowledge.
21.
21 will do it. So yeah, if anyone else has
25.
Perfect. Yeah, as long as one person succeeds here, they can share the information with everyone else. But yeah, the more people know the.
Hey, Lucretia, you know what's funnier than 24? 25.
Good turn.
Yes.
But no, so what you would have picked up, and admittedly, the Federation notes on this are actually probably a lot weaker than the ones that Atlas has. So you're probably also getting filled in a little bit from Kaufman. Is that Rose McNulty is a former Bigsey security officer, a former, essentially the equivalent of a cop, who for some reason ended up going dirty and joined in with Norsco, with each of the major each of the major corporate institutions on Bigsey has their own pseudo security force made up of basically criminal elements that they have paid off to be their own little mercenary armies. Norsco, as the largest company, obviously has the largest and most powerful of these organizations. And because of Rose McNulty, who is the leader of it, the current leader of it at least, it is also one of the most devoutly loyal to their employers. Most of them are pretty mercenary. McNulty is incredibly loyal to Norse personally. She is, violent and prone to not taking shit from lower level Norse employees, but she is immovably loyal to Norse himself.
Okay.
And the fact that she's, here isn't surprising because you are meeting with a Norsco executive, but the fact that this Norsco executive is blatantly, fucking around with her is somewhat surprising because, like, she's been known to kill members of the Norseco, like higher echelons for, making the mistake of thinking that they can, safely, push her around as an underling.
Yeah.
So this guy's ballsy, basically. But yeah,
right.
But Linda seems largely unmoved by this whole, incident. And as soon as McNulty is left and you're done sharing this information with each other, which he respectfully allows you to do without interruption, she says, Mr. Armstead has been waiting for you. We have your payment ready, and I can have the package delivered to him post-haste.
Does he not wish to meet with us?
Mr. Armstead would prefer to keep his involvement with you indirect for the time being. However, if you would like, he does understand your professional desire to meet face-to-face with those you are working with, and he has left a communicator to, like, a direct line to his room so that you may have a short talk with him.
Very well. He's the boss.
Does the payment as well have the bonus for time?
Yes, actually, you have arrived in very in excellent time. We actually also saw your ship arrive, and we were very impressed at how quickly not only did you finish the job, but how prompt you were in getting to us. It speaks very highly of your professionalism.
We try and be a better class of solution.
She nods and gives you a very, like, pleasant smile, like, you are, your reputation is well earned.
And then we get the good karma, like from Fallout above our heads.
Yeah, the little halo pops over your head with a little Shamarin icon.
Yes.
But you, so I assume you go over to the, like, one of the, like, video phones, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah. They give you a number to punch in, and after a short little thing, like a short little animation for the, like, this time of the Norseco logo, which is a pair of, I think it's a dragon, a green dragon, Bleal.
Yes, it's like an Ouroboros.
Yeah, it's like an Ouroboros. But yeah, it's like a little green Ouroboros, like, kind of spinning around, eating its own tail, and then you get a picture of the inside of a room, and sitting in it, in like a bathrobe, essentially, like a really expensive looking bathrobe, you see a human man with very carefully cut hair and a very carefully manicured beard, sitting and looking into the screen, and as he sees you, he, like, you can kind of see, like, something twitch in his face for a moment, but then he smiles and says, excellent. You've done me an excellent service in getting all that, all that unpleasantness taken care of for me.
We aim to please. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Mr. Amstead.
Likewise. And I assume that since you're here with my package, that Mr. Jester was good to his word?
As far as I can tell, yes.
Excellent. Well, we may have some work for you in future in helping him to, in helping me to follow through on my end of the bargain with Mr. Jester, but for the time being, I need to make sure that that he really was as good as his word, and that these documents are as valuable as he said, as he seemed to imply that they were. You have your payment, and we will be in touch with you. The number that the individual who we spoke with before gave us a number to reach you. And he lists off your, ship's ID number, your communication number. So, is this a good place to reach you?
An excellent place. Were you informed of the state that we left the station that the documents were recovered from in?
I was. That was some work you did there. The location...
Hoffman did not have any intentions to blow a hole in the side of the station.
It wasn't really that very much work at all.
Well, if you can perform this level of work with so little effort, I'm sure that our relationship will be very profitable for us both.
I am happy to hear that.
Excellent. Send my regards to the rest of your crew, and I look forward to speaking with you again in future.
Oh, and Mr. Amstead, just on a secondary note, Mrs. McNulty was somewhat displeased by your not needing to see her.
Like, you actually see him like it's kind of weird. Like he like gets this little smug little smile for a second, then he tries to cover it like really quickly with like a like faux concerned look. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. She,
threatened really physical violence even.
Yes, well, I'll have to make it up with her. I've scheduled some time tomorrow when I should be free to see her.
Hoffman suggests a candlelit dinner.
He looks like startled by this, like, I will have to think about that.
Use protection.
He turns slightly red and he's like, I will take that under advisement. Your robot seems to be rather crude.
Eccentric?
Yes. Though I suppose one
specialists often are.
Yeah, he rolls his eyes slightly and says, "I suppose one can only assume can only expect so much out of a Chiron machine."
The creature rolls her eyes at this.
He doesn't like. He
dare
like,
to.
He looks.
Is there anything else, Mr. Amstead?
No, that'll be all. Thank you very much for your service.
You're quite welcome. At that, we will go ahead and give the package over to Linda and the staff.
Okay. Yeah, and they give you a case in like a bio-printed case that they seem to have your bioprint on record. Though to be fair, that's not entirely unusual for anyone who's been in the service.
No.
And so they hand it over to you, and you're able to quickly check it and make sure that, the payment in full is here.
Good money.
Good.
Excellent.
Yeah. And we're going to take a short break, but before we do, I want to actually just give you guys your reward for now having officially completed your first job. This is not the end of the session, but it is the end of this job, and so I'm going to give you your reward now. As opposed to at the end of the session, because we're going to take a break anyway, and I kind of want to just, get to doing this part. So,
yeah.
First of all, you guys managed to do your job exceptionally well. In fact, I'm going to say that, while I'm usually not going to be quite as generous, especially since, that was essentially, something of a tutorial mission, you guys got 2 reputation points for your excellent, efficient work. So your reputation goes up by
2 reputation or standing?
Sorry, two standing. 2 standing, and then it's been a little while since I looked at fame. I should have actually looked this up before, but I believe it's probably gains 3. I have 3 all game now and blah blah blah. Okay, so yeah, the way that fame goes up is it's based on your standing. I'm just gonna actually read the whole fame thing because it's only a couple paragraphs. A long-standing fame only raises and is largely unaffected by what sort of reputation the party has. Anytime a member of the party raises or lowers their standing by a total equal to the number of player characters, they also raise their fame by 1. So basically, you guys, since all of you gained reputation for this, in all you gained 2 reputation for this. The whole party has essentially gone up by 2 fame points.
Makes sense.
So the whole party gets 2 fame points. Now, reputation...
What about that cash money?
I'll deal with the cash money in just a second, but just to explain real fast, your standing is technically personal. individually you can raise and lower your standing, so your reputation. Your standing. Your standing without having the entire party affected. But your fame is universal, and fame will actually go up even if you lower reputation. In fact, every time your reputation raises or falls by a number equal to the number of players, even if it's a mix of positive and negative, you will gain additional fame. So, like, do a really good job, go up in fame. Burn down an orphanage, go up in fame. Have half of you guys...
a really good job burning down an orphanage?
Yeah, like have like half of you burn down an orphanage and the other half rush in to save the orphans. Go up in fame. Like, your reputation...
You gotta admit, that'd make for a great news story.
That would be pretty good. But basically the idea is that...
Criminals burn down an orphanage for a statue of... Yeah, for statue of Rigtidus.
Oh, God. But yeah, the point is, like, reputation can be a positive or negative thing that can make you guys look like more or less heroes or villains. Fame is not necessarily a good or bad thing inherently. It's just how well you're known. So you can become famous for being shitheads, or you could be famous for being big old-fashioned heroes. Either way,
we can become famous for being rich.
Yeah. Either way, it just keeps on going up and up and up. So. You guys get to fame. You guys get to your everybody in the party. Your party standing fame goes up to, and everybody's individual reputation goes up to. And then for money, I actually forget how much you guys managed to negotiate for. I think you guys managed to get up to.
I'll listen back to the recording and I'll.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that when we get back from the break, but. We're going to take a 5-minute break, or a slightly longer break, since we're apparently also going to have to, since somebody's going to look up that money for me. But we will be right back with more Rag-a-Muffins.
Dun, dun.